Open up a loan, or are you bringing in a professional? Call PJN Tax Solutions Group now, 630-415-5296. Again, 630-415-5296, or just Google, I want the IRS off my ASS.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. They need your guns. Sell for top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
Wow, are we going to Sizzler? If the big guy listened to me, I believe it was myself, handsome devil in the cow guy jacket, possible bow tie. Not only turning a love seat into a lounge chair, however, we were talking about the price of a July $80 put when oil was at $110, and all the experts said it's going higher. We said, no, it'll come down just as fast. If you can imagine what the price of a July $80 put is now, you are going to scissor me and the Scott, the cow guy, Shellady from RFD TV. Are we going to Sizzler?
You know, we could upgrade and go to Ponderosa if you've got one near you.
Well, it's amazing how fast things correct themselves. It almost makes all the prognosticators of doom and gloom and mayhem and a recession look stupid, doesn't it?
Yeah, did you see the notes that came out of that Fed meeting today? I mean, what planet are they on? Well, it was like it's like they're not even taking notice of the fact that if oil comes down, everything else gets a lot better real fast. You know what I mean?
Well, they're always set up, right, for the plausible deniability of absolute corruption. We're just late to the game. We're late to the dance. That's what they always do. You know, that's how they operate the thing. And I have said for a while now, I don't believe that they are the ones that are independent from the settlement bank in Europe. I really don't.
Well, okay, so 9 of the 18 Fed governors anticipated a rate hike in this year. What planet are they on? The next FOMC policy statement omitted any easing bias. I don't understand. I mean, if you see oil go from 100, 105 to 75 in a matter of days, where are your inflation concerns going? I mean, whatever. We need to change them all out for AI. There's 400 of them. I'd keep about 20 and get rid of 380.
Exactly. And, you know, this is the reality of things. These are the people that are giving the tone that the propagandists called media can run with. So they are completely wrong. Just to be clear, your disgust with them is because they are completely wrong. And the Bank of International Settlements is the one that has the most to risk. So they cannot have a free Fed, because what will happen is America, being the strongest and the most innovative with the best economy, will leave the others in the dust, which means that they will have to pay 5 times, as they should, on their debt, because it's 5 times as slow. The economies are 5 times as bad. I am telling you, this is the form of collectivism that they deny but always pay homage to with the decisions and their promoting of an agenda that they know is wrong. By the way, these people that are on the Federal Reserve, they know that they're wrong, that they're spewing nonsense.
I mean, I just looked at it after the meeting. I mean, I do like Kevin Warsh. I think he's got a chance of doing a good job, but I just cannot stand the idea that maybe if these guys got out of the limo that takes them to and from work every day and filled up the limo with gas once in a while and ran into Hy-Vee and bought a loaf of bread, they might get an idea a little bit more about what's going on out in the real world. Shaun, just like we talked about, you plug AI into the Chicago budget and see where the money's going and see who's stealing. You could plug AI and get rid of 380 of these economists at the Fed. It'll do it fine. It'll just collate the information. That's what AI does, and give you an answer. I don't understand why we have anybody standing there anymore.
Well, and that's why AI will never be used to its highest and fullest potential. Because if you were to use it to its highest and fullest potential, you would eliminate the billions, dare I say trillions and trillions of dollars that is stolen from the decent, hardworking people who have their lives to pay attention to versus the minutia of what you and I are addicted to. Because the reality is what we're talking about, there's only a handful of people that care in the way we understand it, because this is what's used as both the cudgel and the weapon against the decent person and keeping his money. And that's why I'm going to tell you what. I think it's outside of whatever they do. It's always been. This is for banks and other things to manipulate. But when the growth is happening right now and the growth continues to happen, we're still going to come out way ahead of where we would have been had somebody other than Trump been in the White House.
I mean, can you imagine in your lifetime a better weekend than we just had as a country?
No.
4-1, our first World Cup game, first multiple score game we've had in a long time, or if ever.
Well, I wasn't watching that, but I was saying the other stuff. But go ahead.
Then we have Trump reaching an agreement with Iran. Then we have the flyover and the MMA or the whatever they had at the White House. I mean, one win after another all weekend long. It was fantastic. And then we have to rely on this Freddie LA guy that's all over social media to tell all the people that hate it here, Democrats, 55% of which don't want to live in the U.S., 29% of them are barely patriotic. We have foreigners, coaching our own people here on what a great country we have. It's a joke.
But that's what you and I talked about for years. I remember that when did I introduce you to my friend Ivan, or did we just talk about him? His father was the Cuban. He was in his freshman year. He had gone to college in Miami weeks before Fidel Castro sacked Havana in Cuba, and he was able to get his wife, his then girlfriend, who was my friend's mother. But I believe we always talked, who are the best Americans? The former Cuban nationals, the former Soviet nationals, the former Polish, whatever it is. Those are the ones that appreciate. Italian, you appreciate America far better than the trust fund baby from Oak Park who never lived up to his daddy's expectations.
You want to hear? Yeah, you want to hear? I mean, my wife's a microwave, right? She gets hot quick. She's mad all the time, right?
I love her.
And yeah, well, she's a Serbian immigrant. Her whole family, they all came over together in 1967. You want to see how many shoes she throws at the TV because she has stood in bread lines. When she goes back to Serbia when she was a little girl, she would have to stand in a bread line for bread in that country. I mean, she knows what it's like to live under communism. And this place willingly is choosing it. Are you kidding me, with these idiots in New York and Seattle and whomever else is going to get elected? And then on top of it, they want to institute wealth taxes, which is stealing. It's just outright stealing. And people getting angry at other people for doing well. I can't believe where this country has gone, where we've got one whole party that they're not Democrats anymore. They are 100% avowed socialists.
Well, what's funny is the now mayor, the projected winner for the mafia Nazi side, called the Democrats, is an out of the closet bald-faced socialist, and she's the one who's going to win Washington D.C. So the reason that it catches on is I don't get too nervous about it because these are the most corrupt areas prior to this, right? These are the areas where it is better to be on that Soviet system of being a beneficiary of government corruption. I mean, what's better to be a scumbag in than a Democrat area? The drinks are on the house, right? So as these Democrat areas go further into the black hole of greed and living on everybody else's dime, I think it's really a blessing because the other areas are really rejecting it in the same fashion. And you see that. You live it in Tennessee. You see the growth. We talk about it all the time. So the real economy is only for real Americans, for real producers. And now we have a president that guarantees you keep more of your money, and it's going to be harder for the thieves calling themselves Democrats, for the commies and the Nazis and the socialists to take it. Good. Set it up, because if we ever fence these areas off and uncouple ourselves from the liability of corruption and we stop paying the tab, they don't have 30 days and they're all bankrupt eating each other.
I got a buddy of mine from Washington State. He fled because of the millionaire wealth tax they are instituting, and he's going to St. George, Utah. And there's a lot of other people that are following him. And the far eastern third of both Washington State and Oregon, yes, they want to become part of Utah or of Idaho. They want to leave what they're doing now because the people on the coast are the crazies that we have in San Francisco. I mean, how long? Trump's been in office since 2016. He was out for 4 years. on a sabbatical. But they called him, Nazi, Hitler, brown shirt, goose stepper, whatever. It's unbelievable the German references that they've thrown at him during the Holocaust his entire time that he's been in office. But yet you have a guy running for office in Maine with a Nazi tattoo on his chest, and they're like, hey, let's put that guy forward. That'd be a good guy to vote for. They have lost their minds. They cannot even see. They can argue with themselves now. They're not a serious party. They are socialists, and they're going down I was worried about this war and what it might do to the midterms. But they have bungled it so bad, the left. They have no message. They have no leader, and they continually are taking the 20% of 80-20 rule of issues, and they are absolutely throwing up on themselves.
So one of the things I find interesting that I really do not like in the memorandum of understanding, which I find hysterical. How are you going to get an Islamo-Nazi who's been dressing like it's the year 622 AD his entire life, who beats his wife, and do you understand what yeah, I got you. I just want to overtake your country. So I don't think they're even capable of signing an agreement. After all, they signed the Obama agreement, and it was toilet paper. They did what they wanted. They've been doing that for 47 years. So I'm not as convinced that that's real, but I love his willingness to kick their ass repeatedly. We kicked their ass so bad they can't even produce one of their Ayatollah asshats. You just tell me he's alive, but you can't see. Nobody's seen him. Nobody's seen him. So we don't even know. We might be discussing this and coming to agreements with the valet Parker of the Ayatollah. What the hell do we know? But what I love about it is he's cut them off from importance, and now we have this parchment agreement, and okay, we got an agreement. Who gives a rip? But they don't have anything. For all we know, they don't even exist. So it takes out the importance of their factor to obstruct the real price of the most important commodity in the universe. And when it comes to the Straits of Hormuz, listen, whether it's open or not, so how many countries are coming to America now? Are they going to break that supply chain to go back to the Middle East? I don't think so. I think he's really changed the distribution of that commodity. He's made us important. That's not getting the play it should. Everybody wants to talk about the idea we came to an agreement with people who lie for a living.
Within 5 years, the Straits of Hormuz is going to be a bygone. And with nobody, they're going to have pipelines. They'll have way more. No one's going to let this happen to them again.
Like Route 66.
They're already starting.
Right.
Because this is not going to happen again. And I don't blame them. It's absolutely it's unbelievable that a nation like that can hold the world hostage. So anyway, they ruined it for themselves by using that card.
I had a grandfather who bought some land years ago. He'd go on vacation, he'd buy some land, and he was on Route 66 in California. My grandmother says, "What are you doing? You're 20 miles off of the ocean. What this is worthless." He goes, "What are you talking about? There's going to be an earthquake. It falls into the ocean. We got ocean front property. We're on Route 66. Then the Eisenhower came in and it cursed him. He changed the way. Nobody uses Route 66, and nobody's going to use the Strait of Hormuz. You want to deal with these schizophrenics? Of course not. We let them play on the arena of civilized. It's time to take them off the table, as far as I'm concerned. I only believe in a Carthaginian peace. We should motz every one of them because they're told, and they've been lying to us for 47 years. So as long as you shift where that commodity is purchased and you shift who consumes our commodity, I think it doesn't matter if it's legit or not, because once people stop going to the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to Sizzler again.
Well, I know Trump, in honor of Kamala Harris, he's renaming it the Straits of Vermouth, by the way. So that's out there.
I don't think she's drunk. She's just easy. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she's on something. 8-ball Nancy.
But I think this is the bottom line. This is the bottom line. He's got it right. He's tried to do the nice thing, but at the end of the day, these savages only respond to one thing, and that's force, heavy force. And so you just have to say, if you don't do it, I'm coming. And he, by his words, he said he bombed them those 2 nights in a row, and then the third night he called it off, and that's when this all started. Because he told them on the third night it was going to be a combination of the last 2 nights. It was going to be the biggest night of bombing yet, and they finally relinquished. They only respond to strength,
of course,
and that's what we have to stop talking to them and just flex your muscles. That's it.
Well, and our problem is, right, it's the same thing when you have decent people who have never been Democrat talk about the Democrat Party. You cast upon the stranger the virtue you hope is there because it's within you. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You must always suspect, and you have to believe people who've been killing their own citizens You know, this is a country that kills their own citizens. You think they give a rip about a fracking deal? They come with the big evil America. They don't give a rip about that. So I like that simultaneously with that, he's actually changing the way in which they make their money, how they operate, and he's already destroyed it. And you know how bad it must be? We're not getting any of the death totals. I'll never forget that when we went into Iraq. In order to stifle the outrage, they sequestered Americans from the knowledge of how many Iraqis were being killed by us. So this could be hundreds of thousands of the IRGC, of the upper echelon. Like I said, you might have cut this deal with the valet parker or the garage of the Islamo-Nazi terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, this deal was not done over a weekend. He's been thinking about this for years. Okay, and so that's where we're at. This has been a long time coming. Like I said, they respond to force. That's the only way you can deal with these people, and you're going to have to keep your foot on the gas, because anybody that comes into power next, whomever the next president may be, if they don't keep their foot on that pedal, these people will rise up. They hate the West more than they love themselves, and they don't care, and they will hurt themselves to hurt you. It's like you can't fight these people. It's like they have nothing to lose.
And what he did is what you and I used to talk about and understand the ramification. He has also simultaneously killed BRICS. They're not talking about getting rid of the dollar anymore. In fact, it's never had more participation. And it even may look as if he could come to some agreement with the other war started by the Democrat mafia, that phony war of the former Soviet Union, and the idea that we once again backed Nazis and the Azov Nazis of Ukraine. I think that is going by the wayside. I'm sure you saw him completely ignore that thief swindler Zelensky, who's got time to travel like he was on Lifestyles That Are Rich and Aimless. This son of a gun. You're in the middle of a war. You're on every country. You got your new costume on. You're buying artwork. Get the hell out of here with Zelensky. I think he cuts a deal and nullifies that war by ignoring us being the benefactors of it. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, from day one, people got in my face about it, but I said, this is a war between two dictators. They're not. Don't get this idea that all of our people in Congress. You got to save democracy. We have to stand with the Ukraine. They're not a democracy. That guy threw the church leaders in jail. He threw his political opponents in jail. He took over, and now it's only state media. That guy is just a little Putin, and we're here shoveling cash. You know what his biggest problem is? Keeping his top 300 generals in line. And so they're not giving away where they're stashing all the U.S. dollars.
Yeah, they don't steal too much. And they canceled the elections and the rest of it. But what's funny to me is how many billions of dollars from Americans were seized in this war. And who seized it? It wasn't Putin. It was Biden. Where's that fracking money? After the fall of the Iron Curtain, what'd they do? They came by us. They went to the Merck. They went to the board. They went to the New York exchanges. And they said, listen, this is going to be great. They have no regulations. They have no overhead. They got nothing but commodities, no matter what it is, silver, gold, oil. And American companies went there. They invested in infrastructure of billions of dollars with retirement money, with Wall Street money. And who seized it? Joe Biden seized it. Where's the fracking money? You're talking about $52 billion. Where's the money?
Well, the only good news is that if he was part of hiding it, he doesn't know where it is anymore.
He can't figure out why his socks are wet, even when he follows the trail. But
he's still hiding his own Easter eggs. Leave him alone.
So listen, I was doing a lot of research under this imbecile Barack Obama and that dog Victoria Nuland, and you go back to the meetings where they nullified the democracy in Ukraine, right? They put in their stooge, and all the money was hidden, and Biden and so many other Democrats go on, Burisma and Ihor Kolomoisky, and you start to look at this money that was funneled and seized. I'm telling you right now, Scott, this goes right back to the American Democrat mafia. That money, if we release the dogs, release AI on that money, and all that nonsense, it's going to come right back here to the NGOs and the scheme, because they got the email of Zelensky during the election year working with USAID, $200 million. Him and his upper echelon want to send to Biden. $200 million. You didn't have $5. You bust out. You were a two-bit comedian. I'm telling you, Scott, if they ever audit the money in Ukraine, it'll make Minnesota look like it was on sale.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a mutiny amongst his generals because some people are getting mad at others that have a little bit too much vodka and start talking about where they put all their millions. I mean, they've been stealing from us left, right, and center. There's no accountability on the money that we gave to Ukraine. Nothing. There's not even a guy. There's not even a guy sitting behind a desk there writing checks and at least writing it down who he wrote the check to. We have nothing. It could be anywhere.
I got the cut on the board when the upper echelon, they caught 3 guys with $60 million in gold and silver trying to get into Poland. Are you out of your fracking mind? Not one American news source played it. Just my station, my show, Proft in the Morning. That's it. It's amazing how they've been able to keep that going. And you know what's fascinating? It also has that air of Chicago murder and shot numbers on Monday morning. Nobody even gives a rip. Nobody cares anymore. It's just put it in the mix and be happy at least they're not paying their disability directly like we are the Democrat students who can't read in Chicago. That's the way it's going, and they normalize this kind of stealing, and it's all the foreign policy. So I hope Trump addresses this and stops it.
I think he will. I mean, you know what? He's got a long-term plan. The problem is he's just turned 80. He needs to be 60 is what it means. I mean, we need more of it.
Yeah, well, we got to figure out how to get Musk in there because he rubs them the wrong way, the same way Big Donnie did, and he produces the same way Big Donnie does. Isn't it amazing? You got the one guy that you could show kids for generations. He came here with nothing, slept on the floor. One guy made hundreds of millions of Americans rich. One guy. Elon Musk, and look at what he did. Took on everything from Starlink to Tesla to SpaceX to Twitter, the rest of it. It's amazing what he did.
And the left vilifies him. It's unbelievable. What are they on? What planet are these people on? This guy just mentioned 4,000 new millionaires on Friday.
Yeah.
Give me about 400 of them. We're 100 millionaires. Are you kidding me? What do you want to do with this guy? This is insane.
One legal alien, in 30 years, did more for America than the entire Democrat and Republican Party did for the quality of life for Americans since its inception. Think of that. One guy in 30 years did more for America than both political parties have done since the beginning. There's a headline for RFD TV tomorrow. You just got to do work now.
I might have to use it. I might have to use it on my podcast.
All right. I love it. Say hello to your wife. I love her to death, and you know I love you. I'm sorry I didn't stop by, but I was at that road drunk. You know, when I drove 22 hours like a moron, straight through, cigars going, and stopped off for some barbecue, and I knew if I came over to your house, that's it. I'd sleep. I'd miss the whole golf outing. I probably would have just woke up today.
What do you do? Do you wear a diaper when you do that? What do you do?
No, I check the tire like I used to tell the kid. I got to check the tire. Right out in the open like a dog. God didn't want me to do that. He wouldn't have made it so accessible. You know what I mean?
Trust me, nobody would notice anything, Shaun.
Oh, I got the one leg up. I think the state troopers even smile when they drive by with the cigar going. Thank you for always making time, brother. I love you.
All right, bro. See ya.
We'll be back with your calls and comments.
He will never negotiate his constitutional rights with the government. Live free or die on the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.